Now, there have been many atrocities carried out by authorities in Iran. You detail some of these horrors in the doco.
In the first few weeks of this revolution, we had so many gruesome examples. A young medical student, beautiful girl, thrown off of the building of her medical school when she ran up there to run away from forces that were chasing her. We saw a university, a science university, equivalent to our MIT, so the best and brightest, the future of Iran. The gates of the university were shut to trap the students. Then unmarked vans came and packed up these students and took them. We still don't know the fate of those students.
The regime has reportedly carried out 90 executions, maybe more, in the last 18 days. How have these protests evolved from those first weeks, and what can we expect next?
Yeah, I'm hearing numbers that are higher than that, and I bet you, Rita, that they're even higher than what we are hearing, because we're not going to get the truth out of this regime. Look, the fact that they're carrying out these executions, of course, they're symbolic in nature to send a message out to these young people not to come out onto the streets, telling them there will be dire consequences if they do. Look, for 8 months, in the beginning, we saw protests every single day across more than 22 provinces across the country, right? So this is not just contained to like a Tehran-based, the cool kids of the urban cities type of protests. They're all throughout the country. Even in clerical cities like Qom, you're seeing protests. So it is definitely widespread. But of course, people have to go back to work and to school and go on with their normal lives. So we're seeing sporadic protests here and there when there is some sort of day of recognition or an execution or something that they want to symbolize in terms of a protest. What's next? They're looking to the international community. They know they can't go at this alone, and they want help. They want support. They know they're not going to get it from the Biden administration, unfortunately, especially now that they know the Biden administration is openly going out and trying to get another nuclear deal and to give more money to the regime. They're looking to the UN, who is honoring Iran's regime with different titles, while, again, the executions go on. So I applaud them for their courage, because I do believe that they have continued being brave and continued in the face of the brutality, coming out and making their messages known. But they need help. And I think that social media has been a great friend to Iran's regime, to the Iranian people, and of course the Achilles heel of the regime, right? That's why they cut the internet service so often there, because they know that is the vehicle by which people are communicating. We have a whole nation of citizen journalists who are telling their stories and sending us videos. We're translating them, getting them up, and trying to tell their story as best as possible to get their story out there and to keep this entire movement under the global spotlight, to give them as much help and support as possible from thousands of miles away.
And you do fantastic work doing just that. Lisa Daftari, thank you so much for joining me today.
Likewise, thank you so much.